Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got our guest speaker here with us today, my wife, Jen. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Jen, I've got a quote. I heard it this week on a podcast, and I'm like, wow, I got to use that in ours. It's by James W. Frick, and it says, "Don't tell me where your priorities are. Show me where you spend your money, and I'll tell you where your priorities are." What do you think?
It's a great quote.
It's a great quote. For educators like you, like me, we've spent maybe decades prioritizing our students, our lesson plans, grading all the things. And this quote really hit home for me because now, when we're looking ahead to retirement, the question becomes, have we prioritized ourselves? And in today, we're going to be diving into financial literacy. It isn't just nice to have, but it's a must have, especially for teachers who are going to be stepping into maybe an uncertain future. What do you think?
Yeah.
Start us off, Jen. What is financial literacy?
Financial literacy is understanding money. How does it work? What can it do for you? That can involve like budgeting, savings plans, how to invest,
Nice.
you know, strategies for reaching your goals.
Yeah. Planning for your future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. We've been championing our us teachers. We've been championing our students for reading, writing, math, all the other electives that they take. It's time to start championing ourselves. Here's the thing, though: 1 in 6 students can't meet the basic standards for financial literacy. And you know what? Many of us adults never got taught financial literacy when we were in high school either, or
No,
college. No.
no.
If you feel behind, if you feel overwhelmed, you're not alone. And just know it's also never too late to start. I know that my school and here in Colorado, we do require financial literacy to be taught to our juniors and seniors. It's part of their graduation requirement. So, Colorado, well done. Jen, quick question for you. Where do you find or learn financial literacy?
Start doing research. I mean, there's so much information out there. Um, Books, podcasts, YouTube, um, talking to your friends and family.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. If you know somebody who is in retirement, go talk to them. Go find out what's going well and what they can, what's a struggle for them. That's something that you can learn and implement and change in your retirement. There's
Yeah.
plenty of books and podcasts out there for financial literacy, for financial independence. Subscribe to this podcast. So lots of options. I like it. So once again, let's talk some facts. Many teachers assume that the pension, we in Colorado, we have para. I've talked to several teachers who are saying, at least I have my pension. But here's the thing, that pension isn't enough. Ryan and I have done a couple of other videos talking about how para is not enough for retirement. It's nice to have, but it's not enough. Neither is Social Security, right? It's not enough either. And as we continue into the future, even Social Security is going to get smaller and smaller. So the average teacher in the United States has around $300,000. That's good, right, Jen? It's not good.
Mm-mm.
Why? 300,000 is kind of a lot of money.
Not when it has to last for 10, 20, 30, however long. If it lasts 30 years, you've got $10,000 a year.
There you go. Not only that, but medical bills. Medical bills are chomping up on money as well. So you need more than just your pension. You need to have another vehicle. You've got your para, and then you have another vehicle that will help you in your retirement. This can be maybe a Roth, this could be a brokerage account, or in our case, real estate.
Yeah.
It can. You might also just want to get a second part-time job just to subsidize your retirement. So as teachers and as the education department, we spend billions of dollars teaching our kids any subject under the sun, but we don't really teach them how to manage money. Did you ever get taught how to manage money when you were in school?
We got taught how to fill out a checkbook when I was
Super young.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And who does checks anymore, right? So I remember that as well. How do you you have to write cursive when you're doing that. They don't even
Yep.
teach cursive anymore. But because they don't teach money, how to handle, how to work with money in the schools, that's left generations of people, of teachers even, graduating college, not understanding money, coming out with debt, and already starting a little bit behind. Once again, we talked about Colorado, how it's awesome because we do require people to take, juniors and seniors to take uh, financial literacy class as part of their graduation requirement. Only 23 states in the nation require that class for graduation. And that means many of our teachers in the nation probably never got this either. So once again, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed. You might feel a little bit lost. But here's the twist. You're expected to manage your own 401k. You're expected to understand your pensions and the formulas and how to invest and where your money goes and Social Security and all the other parts and pieces that go with that without ever being shown how, right? You're just kind of tossed out there. This can be overwhelming for some. Where do you start? Jen, what would you say to a teacher or to a person who's like, I have no idea what to do. I want to retire, but I'm lost.
Well, if you're a teacher, Para is probably the best place. Their website or calling and talking to one of their advisors is probably the best place to start because that's going to make up the large chunk of a Colorado teacher's retirement.
Yeah.
Um,
You've we've logged in. You've browsed around with me while I've been logged in.
yeah,
You've seen it.
it's a pretty informative site. So I would start there, and if you have questions, contact someone at Para and get some of those questions answered.
Yeah. Great. Look for options outside of para. You've got your para pension on one side, and then on the other, there's another vehicle that's going to help you in retirement. Best part is that even if you weren't taught this, you can still learn it, and you can even get caught up if you're feeling a little bit behind. Here's what's changed and why financial literacy is so much more important today. You're on your own. Pensions are limited, and they're still getting cut. 403Bs have a high fee. Ryan and I have talked about some of these fees and how it affects your money. There's a lot of options out there. Which ones works best for you? The government safety net, Social Security, is getting smaller and smaller as well. People are living longer. That's a blessing and a curse, I guess, which means your money has to last longer. Along with all of those abundant choices, that also brings noise. The number of financial products can be overwhelming. Some might be helpful, and you have to find out which ones are more of the predatory state. But here's the thing, financial ignorance is also expensive. But financial literacy, that's empowering. How has financial literacy helped you or helped us?
It's definitely relieved a lot of stress. Like knowing that we have a plan and there's something that we're moving toward, even if it doesn't always go according to what we want it to, knowing that we have something set up and that we're making progress and there's action that I can take from now until we decide to retire.
Yeah.
Like we can take more control of that. It relieves a lot of stress.
Yeah, because we're in control.
Yeah.
So what can teachers do to help regain some of this control for their financial futures? I would recommend you just start small. Start small, create a budget, track your spending, see where your money's going, understand what's happening right now. And then from there, build a 3 to 6 month emergency savings account, because we don't know when things are going to happen, but we know that they will. So build an emergency savings account. Next up, I would say, like Jen said, go to Para, research, browse around the website, see what's there. Knowing what your pension provides is power, and learning how to supplement it is also empowering. What else can people do to help them have that financial literacy for their future, Jen?
Um, pick wisely. Don't just, follow some internet guru's plan. Not even ours. But do some research and find what is going to work best for you. If you're talking with a financial advisor, look for a fiduciary. That means that they are required to give you information that's in your best interest. A lot of financial advisors work on commission, and so they will provide you products that don't necessarily work for you, but they get the biggest cut.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to a fiduciary, talk to one that's not fee-based, meaning they don't get a cut of your money. There are others that work for, it's an hourly rate, flat rate, and then do some research. Find out what fees are involved in funds, because they can go from anywhere from like 0.03% up to like 2%. That's a huge difference.
Yep. That's your money.
So do some education.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
Absolutely. If there's people that are doing what you want to do, talk to them, learn from them, right? One thing I would also throw in there is don't follow the latest trends. I remember back in about 2021, we had the whole GameStop craziness, right? The whole GameStop craziness. Don't follow the trends, okay? Do your research, cross-check your ideas, see what other people are saying. Find out what's the difference between what index funds are available. Ryan and I talk about a total stock market index fund. Are there others? Wink, wink, hint, hint. Right? Find a brokerage, Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab. These are the big three, but see what options and how they look, or what they look like, and what you could do to get caught up. Last but not least is I find that when I start learning, I start teaching a little bit more, right? If I'm teaching a class at work and I find something that I learned, a different way to teach drawing because I'm an art teacher, or a different way of doing a different project, I understand the material a little bit better. And so don't forget to teach your kids. Financial literacy starts at home. Talk openly about money. Use real life examples. Play money games. Be careful though, some of them might get a little bit violent or take too long to play. Listen to audiobooks. Involve them in family budgeting. Maybe plan a night out, a vacation, right? Have you ever done any of those things with your family?
No, my parents didn't growing up. It would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It can be as simple as, here's a set amount of money. What can we do for this as a family?
That's a great idea. We have $100 for a fun Friday night outing. What are we doing? Right? And they got to keep it in that budget. Look, you've given your career to shaping the minds of kids, building better futures for others, and now it's time to start educating yourself. Because here's the truth. No one's coming to save you. Not your district, not your state, not the federal government. No one cares more about your money than you do. You can save yourself. You're not alone. Subscribe to the channel. Let's have a conversation. Let's help each other out. This channel is here to help you grow in financial confidence and independence. So if this resonates with you, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And once again, ask us those comments down below. Let's walk this journey together. You deserve financial freedom. You've earned it. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for coming in, Jen.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.